Live.
It only took a few tries.
Well, it says it's sending data, so we're not quite live yet. Let's see what happens here. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming everywhere.
Why are you so weird?
I just am weird because I am tired. And I'm still struggling with answering the question, what's sustaining you?
Fair. It is an existential question sometimes. Oh.
Let's see if it's working.
Well, friends, you have 2 minutes because of our technological difficulties.
Hey.
You have 2 minutes to grab a...
To grab a yawn.
to grab a friend, to grab a drink, and grab your friend a drink, but don't take your friend's drink. Right?
That's right.
Steal it.
Last one before summer break.
I thought we were breaking. We never talked about when we're breaking.
Oh, I thought we did.
We didn't. We didn't say it like when. We said we would take a summer break, but we didn't say when.
Okay.
I think it should be Pentecost.
All
That
right.
makes sense.
Okay.
That's next week.
All right. Come on over.
So welcome to Talking Toast, everybody. We promise we have our stuff together.
No, we don't have our stuff together. We're probably just like you. Nobody has their stuff together right now. That's not the expectation.
I have no stuff. And it's certainly not together.
What was that on, was it Bruce Almighty? When he said something about a bush in the hand, the bird in the bush.
I have no bush. I have no hand.
I have no bird. I have no bush. God has taken my bird and my bush.
Yeah.
I remember the quote, but I can't remember the phrase. Never mind. Woo! All right.
Tuesday night, baby.
Tuesday night.
Today is the most Monday Tuesday. We're coming in on a short week. We've been relaxing, chilling, all cool, the last few days. And here we are. It is Talking Toast. We start every Talking Toast each week at 8:28. And it's just a time to pull back the curtain on our creative process. We talk about life and spirituality, and sometimes we talk about sports and Bible, and you never know what's going to happen on Talking Toast.
All the things.
Sometimes we remember what we were saying, and sometimes we don't. So here we are. But we start every Talking Toast by asking the same question. It's a simple question. What is sustaining you? What is getting you by? What is that 808 beat that is pulling the music along?
Yeah.
Or pushing the music along, depending on how you feel today.
That's right.
I'm being pulled along.
I'm being pulled. Yes, or pushed. I don't know. I feel like I need both. Sometimes you need both. Yeah, Barbara Brown Taylor would ask, what's saving your life right now? Yeah, that's a good question. So let us know where you're viewing from tonight. Just chime in. And then let us know, what's sustaining you.
Let us know if you are in the same city as Caitlin Clark tonight.
Ooh.
Because we are.
We are in the same city.
Humble brag.
That's awesome. And we're not in Indianapolis.
No. How about that?
That's right.
But she's not going to play tomorrow. So the Indiana Fever tomorrow are taking on the Washington Mystics. Mm-hmm. But because there is a hockey game happening in Washington, they had to move the Indianapolis game to Baltimore.
Had to move? They got the opportunity to move.
They got the opportunity.
They got the
pleasure
to
play in Baltimore.
Of being in Baltimore. You're welcome.
Welcome to the Charm City. So even though Caitlin is hurt, tomorrow a couple of Hawkeyes will take the court. It will at least be in our area. Mm-hmm. At CFG Bank Arena.
It's gonna be fun.
Super exciting.
It
Lucy
is.
Olson.
Yep.
You know,
playing
Caitlin
for the
Clark.
Mystics.
It'll be fun.
I just had this weird thing. Mystics is the DC team, right? I don't know why all of a sudden I got it mixed up with like Connecticut because Mystic Connecticut.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That would
it's in
make
my brain.
sense.
Yeah.
But it's the Connecticut Sun.
After a very long meeting, we voted your friend Bo Prosser to be our next Sunday interim senior pastor. He starts on Sunday. That's
Nice.
awesome. Bo has good stories, and Bo's an all-around good human being. That's going to be fun. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Please tell Bo that we said hello and that we rhyme all the time. That was a terrible. Yes. So what is sustaining you?
What is sustaining me? Sleeping in my bed. No.
Yeah.
I went on a backpacking trip this weekend, and it was glorious. I laughed more than I've laughed in a long time. We did a little bit of crying. We did a lot of drinking wine. We did a lot of walking. So much so that my legs are still sore, and it takes me a little while to get up the stairs. But we had we did 26 miles. We had the goal of going 40, but after our 14-mile day on Saturday, we realized, like, ugh, probably shouldn't do that.
That's all right.
And training ourselves to listen to our bodies. We were 4 middle-aged moms, and we have struggled all independently of one another with listening to our bodies. So we decided on Saturday night that we were going to listen to our bodies, and we cut our trip a little bit short mileage-wise, but still had some fun out on the trail.
Yeah. You had tons of fun.
Forest bathing.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When I picked you up, I could just tell there wasn't just like an excitement with you all and like a tired. It was this like peacefulness.
Yeah.
That kind of
just
like permeated the group.
I just exude peace these days.
In that moment. It did.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it was so good, and it was one of the hardest things that I've done in a long time athletically. I would kind of rank it up there. I mean, it was a mind game and a body thing. On Saturday when we did the 14 miles, carrying 40 pounds of pack, up a hill several times and over rock scrambles and creeks and whatnot. But man, it was so good to just have nothing other to do than to walk.
That's great.
It was good.
I see that white blaze on your hat.
There you go.
I like it.
There it is. I got a new purple hat.
I like it.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Doesn't look so much like Taco Bell.
It doesn't. That one looks a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you had that time.
Yeah.
That was
It was
awesome.
good. It was a gift. What about you? What is sustaining you?
And Bill Harding said you had great weather.
I did, although I was cold. I did not prepare well for the cold. I was thinking 50s cold, and it shifted last minute to 40s cold, and I had a 55-degree sleeping bag. So my heaviest jacket was my really thin, light, packable raincoat. So I was a little chilly, but it was fine. I snuggled with my tent mate, and it was good.
Drew Wilson says hello.
Oh, hey.
It is good to see you on here, Drew. I haven't talked all about I might say that. As soon as Katie asks me what's sustaining me, I might share a little bit about some Clemson stuff.
All right, what's sustaining you?
Oh, thank you for asking.
I've already asked you, by the way.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
At the very beginning?
No, I asked you, and then Bill said you had great weather, and it got me sidetracked.
I got you. Yeah, I watched a lot of softball over the weekend, and it was equally like sustaining because it was fun to watch it, but it was also exhausting because the first night was like I was up to like 2 a.m. watching them play
Because they had a rain delay, right?
They had a rain delay or lightning delay, and then the next night it went into extra innings, and we won the first game. It was awesome. Second game we lost it in extra innings. and the third game we lost it by 2 runs, all on the road in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And man, our Tigers, they are good. That is a good team playing on the road in Texas. And I feel like Texas is a really, really good team. Would not surprise me if they won the whole thing.
Gotta get through Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's right. And then I was watching a few weeks ago, not a few weeks ago, maybe like 1 week ago, I was watching our Tigers participate in the NCAA women's lacrosse. Yeah, and we got absolutely shafted with our place in the draw with the seeding, and had to play the North Carolina team that we had just played in the ACC tournament championship.
2 games prior.
Yeah, 2 games prior. Were we the championship, or maybe it was the game before, semifinals. And so we lost to them in the semifinals, and then we had to play them in the second round of the NCAA tournament, and that team was incredible, undefeated the entire year, and won the national championship.
Bring it home, Callaway. Bring it home.
So anyway, just been watching a lot of Clemson sports and enjoying all that. And our baseball team is hosting a regional, which will be awesome. And yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So that was for you, Drew. There was some Clemson stuff.
Is that what's sustaining you?
In the midst of all that, I also took our child to Hershey Park twice over the weekend. Just spent a lot of good time with her. Yeah. And just catching up, and sometimes you just need that time. Yeah. And that's 2 trips that we've kind of gone on, just the 2 of us, in the last little while.
Oh yeah, because you all went to Clemson together.
We did, and so anyway, it's good stuff.
Well, we all played free laser tag tonight together at Main Event, and it was wild. We roughed up on some middle school boys in laser tag. It was great.
That's right.
It was great.
Hey, Joanne, happy belated birthday.
I was getting ready to say that. I hope the ecstatic dancing was wonderful.
That looked like
pictures
fun.
Looked like fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this week, on as far as Talking Toast goes in the content, we're kind of leaning into talking about the Ascension. This Sunday, although it is not technically the Ascension Day, we are going to be celebrating Ascension. Ascension is actually on a set day because it's a certain number of days away from 40 days away from Easter. And then Pentecost comes 10 days after that, 50 days after Easter. So we're going to be talking about Ascension and why this kind of vague theological concept is important, and what it's kind of doing within us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew
what
and
are you
I
laughing at?
We're sharing dad jokes. We texted back and forth.
Okay.
It's good stuff. Yeah. So thinking about, that, and it's not really a concept that is brought up much.
No, it's not.
Ascension.
No.
I feel like we bring it up every year.
Yeah, we are.
But it's one of those things that's not really talked about much.
So
and I'm kind of fascinated by that.
So for those of you who are wondering, like, what the hell are they talking about? The answer is 40 days after the resurrection. There are a couple of accounts in the Gospels, one in Luke and one in Acts, which, by the way, are probably written by the same person or in the same style, of Jesus being taken up into the clouds. So he's got this resurrected self. He's got this full body, that eats breakfast on the beach and does all these cool things, walks through walls. But it is 40 days after the resurrection, after the morning where the Marys find the tomb empty, that he is taken up into the clouds. And
that's the basis of the Spirit in the Sky song.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So there's that. But what's interesting about this is that there is a pretty strong Old Testament kind of Jewish concept of this. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily that it would be a resurrection and then an ascension, but both, Isaiah and Enoch were taken up and just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Without and didn't really die,
Yeah.
and just were taken up into the clouds.
I think that's right.
I think it's Isaiah, because he's the one you leave the seat for, right?
I think that's Elijah.
Elijah. It was Elijah.
Yeah.
It was Elijah and Enoch.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. So both of them had this kind of like taking this ascension into the clouds as their exit strategy. I don't know. So there's a strong Old Testament kind of Jewish tradition for this. And so this is what happens with Jesus. And Enoch and Elijah both have very significant places in the tradition because of the method of their exit.
Your mom said that's how she would like to go.
Yeah, same. So we have this ascension. Jesus joins these other two in the tradition that ascend into heaven, is what we're told it is. And the disciples are kind of left there, and we're going to be preaching from the book of Acts 1. It's literally the first thing that happens in the book of Acts. We're going to be preaching from that, where the disciples are just standing there and like looking around, looking up, and these two figures, these two angels, things, people, spirits, bodies, I don't know, show up, and they say, "Why do you keep looking up? The stuff that he would have you do is down here.
Yeah, it's time to go.
It's time to go."
It's just time to go.
So that's kind of the spirit of the story. If you're interested in going back and reading it,
Yeah, Acts 1 through 11.
Yep.
Acts 1 through 11. Yeah.
And so I'm going to be talking about letting go. Let it go. You might have seen the lyrics on the post tonight.
It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. Yeah.
But the thing that strikes me about
fears of what's sorry.
the thing that strikes me about this is, would you stop?
It's time to see what I can do. Sorry.
Oh my God. Talk about girl dad energy. It's great. So, oh my God.
Your dad.
Always something weird. So what I'm going to be talking about, and this is something that I've been kind of knocking around a little bit, that religion, regardless of the religion, is kind of created as a suffering management system. Like
it's definitely Buddhist.
Yeah, like to reduce the suffering in one's life.
Yeah.
Let's take out the anxiety about the afterlife by giving you this kind of concept of heaven and hell, or let's ramp up the anxiety about the afterlife by giving you this concept of hell. But all of that to say, a lot of religion is a way of grappling with suffering. And what I really enjoy about this text is this idea that Jesus cannot be clung to, that they just have to let go. And in fact, the figures that come and talk to the disciples after are telling them, like, why do you keep looking up? And it makes me wonder how many things that we've struggled to let go of, that have, in our not letting go, in our grasping a hold of, have caused pain. And that I think a lot of the spiritual life is a discipline in letting go.
Yeah, because whatever we are dealing with, it's going to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Whether we let it go, or whether
or
it
we hold
goes.
on to it.
I mean, it's going to go.
And if it goes and you're not letting it go, that's called denial.
Yeah.
And that causes a lot of pain and
It
a
does.
lot of suffering and a lot of grief.
Yeah.
And so
We can either let it go or it's going to let us go.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So I really want to hit on that and think about the ways that religion turns toxic when we're not in the pattern of letting go. When letting go is not a part of our spiritual practice, our religion not only becomes toxic, but it takes too much from the world. And I think that's what we're seeing right now in the takeover of Christianity by Christian nationalists, in the hypocrisy of the evangelicals. It's this unwillingness to let go, and as such it's like a collecting, like a hoarding of religious things, and
or even a choking out. The grasping is a choking out.
yeah, and they make shows about hoarders. And
they never turn out well.
They never turn out well. But I think that's where, like, the reason people hoard, the reason people collect and feel like they can't give up, is because of an unhealthy attachment. And I think this is where Buddhism is really important, because it helps you develop healthy attachment, and understand the mechanism of suffering. So I want to play with that a little bit this week.
That's awesome. I wonder, I talked about talking with you in this in my homily about the if he stayed thing. But there's also this, you've got the letting go side. There's also this, he had to go. And thinking about Jesus in that, like
stepping away.
He's stepping away. He's showing us
right.
the letting go. I mean, you think about it. It could have been one of those things. So I've been exploring the question: what if he stayed? And I don't think Christianity. I don't think. I don't know if our brains would know what to do with that. But it was time to go. It was time to pass the baton. It was time to it was time the lessons had been taught, and it was up to the people he was leaving it in the hands of.
Yeah, and so when we talk about the Christ figure, when we talk about Jesus the Christ, who and a lot of folks talk about the Christ is not Jesus's last name, but rather it's a universal principle that signifies the connectedness of everything. And so when people talk about Jesus the Christ, a lot of conversation revolves around the scandal of particularity. How is this universal, this gigantic principle manifested in and embodied in a man, a brown-skinned Jew from Nazareth, who is probably poor, and, we can go down the list of descriptors. How is it that Jesus is... this universal principle is embodied in this very particular person? And so I think the thing that's like really interesting about what you're asking is, okay, well, if there's something in his going, in Jesus's leaving, that allows for the people he left it to, the people he commissioned, to be the particular embodiments of this universal principle. That as long as his body and his person was present on this earth, no one else could experience the empowerment of bearing that universal principle of the Christ. And so it is in his leaving that is made possible.
That, yes. And if you want something to move, if you want something to be more, there is a letting go that has to take place. And I don't know, I mean, we do have a great commission there. So there is a more in not a more in like a hoarding more, a more in like this needs to be, more people need to know about
dispersing this. Authority and responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you think about, I don't know, you think about your great teachers. So many great teachers left this life early, whether by their decision or something else. Most of the time it's something else, because the great teachers are often radical, and whenever you're radical and speaking against an institution, there's one end.
They can't take it.
Right. Because there's a grasping of, and this is something that's challenging the grasp. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, except to say, Jesus is doing that letting go too, and modeling that even in this moment of the ascension. If Jesus had stayed around and continued to stay around and micromanaged it to say like, oh, this is what I meant by that. This is what I meant. You've got to, no. That's not what I'm exactly, no, it's this.
This isn't how we did it last year.
If that had been the case, we wouldn't be here.
No.
Talking about this.
No. So there was a mutual letting go. There was a letting go on the side of the devotees, and there is a stepping away on the side of Jesus. Not in a passive stepping away, but as an active choice to step away.
Yeah.
As a way of empowering the agency of the people he was with.
Yeah. So
it's letting go and stepping away.
Yeah.
Because you can also let go of things that stay, right? But there has to be, in this movement, the active going away on Jesus' side, and the stepping away, and the letting go of the people.
It takes both.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot to play with on Sunday. It's going to be fun. Harvard will not let go Crimson. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard in talking about the letting go thing, because I don't think we're talking about letting go of our principles in this, letting go of ethics. That's not the letting go of the, that's not the point of the letting go.
It's kind of like what my therapist was talking about.
Okay.
In not adopting other people's problems to solve.
Yeah.
You're letting go of it. You're letting go of responsibility to solve someone else's problem.
Yeah.
It's not letting go of responsibility to solve, the systemic issues, but it's letting go of the responsibility to take on someone else's responsibility.
Yeah. And in response to that, politically, you can't take on all the stuff. This is a group that is creating so many problems that you can't take on all the stuff. No. The overwhelm is the point.
And the idea is that if someone tries to respond to everything that happens in the news, you're going to end up not only wearing yourself out, but really standing for nothing. You can't be against everyone. I think about Bill Leonard.
Yeah.
And didn't he tell you, like, you got to choose a hill to die on?
Yeah. And a prophet of everything is a prophet of nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
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 Well, friends, we've done some talking.
We have done some talking. It was good to catch up with all of you
Yeah,
tonight.
we will do some toasting. And next week we'll be preparing for Pentecost Sunday.
Yeah.
And that will be our last talking toast for the summer.
Yeah. We're going to take a few months off.
Barring any like weird things that pop up and that we need to talk about. But we are planning to not do any talking toasts over the summer.
Yep.
Be off from Pentecost until, who knows when? Fall 2025.
Yeah. I imagine that'll be in August something.
Probably August.
Yeah.
Maybe September. Who knows?
So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, this has been good. Also want to say as we're wrapping up, we've got, if you're a Christian Temple person, we've got a congregant. Huh? Well, I asked permission.
Okay.
Send some good vibes to the Goon family. We've got a congregant right now who is going through heart transplant surgery in these moments until probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So be thinking about the Goon family right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's the Christian side of that.
Yeah. Christian Temple side of that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You should post reruns. That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Well, friends, it is time to do some toasting. What you got?
Go from this place, friends, to wherever you're going. And remember that you will have opportunity after opportunity to decide whether to hoard or to let it go. And may you choose to let it go in order to minimize your suffering.
And may your letting go be a gift to you and a gift to everyone around you.
Cheers.
Cheers, friends.
And clean out your basements before they get flooded. That is a lesson in letting go.
All of the things. Well, friends, this has been fun. Thank you for joining us tonight, wherever you're joining from. And if you join throughout the week and want to chime in and let us know where you're watching from or viewing from or what's sustaining you, we